I want you to think about the last time you saw a health expert on morning television. What was the first thing they told you to cut from your diet? Cut the salt. Sodium is the silent killer. Sodium raises blood pressure. Eat bland, flavorless food to live longer. Now, I want you to contrast that with the last time you saw a Mr. Olympia competitor 30 minutes before stepping on stage. What were they doing? They weren't eating broccoli. They were eating potato chips. They were licking salt off their hand. They were drinking Gatorade. Why? Are they trying to sabotage their heart health? Or do they understand a fundamental truth about human physiology that the average doctor ignores? The truth is, sodium is not the enemy of physique development. It is the secret weapon. If you are going to the gym, drinking a gallon of plain water, and wondering why you can't get a pump, you are fighting basic biology. If you feel weak, flat, and small, it's not because you didn't take enough caffeine. It's because your cells are dehydrated, even though you are drowning in water. Water follows salt. Without sodium, your muscles cannot hold water. Without water, there is no cell volume. Without cell volume, there is no pump. Without a pump, there is no mechanical tension signal for growth. Today, we are going to dismantle the low sodium myth. I am going to teach you the biochemistry of the Sodium-Potassium Pump. I am going to show you how to manipulate aldosterone to make your skin look paper thin. And I am going to give you the exact salt shaker protocol to have the most vascular workout of your life. Welcome back to the lab. I'm Dr. Aris Thorne, and this is Strength Unleashed. Let's get salty. To understand the pump, you must understand the cell. A muscle cell is roughly 75% water. Hydrated cell, anabolic growth state. Protein synthesis is turned on. Dehydrated cell, catabolic breakdown state. Protein synthesis stops. The sodium-potassium pump Na plus, K plus ATPase. Every single cell in your body has a motor called the Na plus, K plus pump. It works 24/7. It pumps 3 sodium ions out into potassium ions in. This creates an electrical gradient voltage across the cell membrane. This electricity is what allows your nerves to fire, your muscles to contract. No sodium equals no electrical signal. You feel weak. Your contraction speed slows down. Low sodium equals low blood volume. You feel flat and small. The sponge analogy, imagine your muscle is a dry sponge. Water is, well, water. Sodium is the hand. Sodium is the force that squeezes the sponge and holds the water inside the matrix. If you drink a gallon of water with 0 sodium distilled or tap water, you will just pee it out. It passes through you. It doesn't stick. You are systemically hydrated, but your muscle cells are not pressurized. When you add sodium, you increase blood osmolality. Your body senses the salt concentration rising. To balance it out, it holds onto water. It pulls water into the blood vessels, vascularity, and if potassium is present, into the muscle cells, volumization. Vascularity science. Vascularity, veins popping, is not just about having low body fat. That is a myth. Vascularity is about pressure. Your veins are like garden hoses. If the water pressure is low, the hose is soft and flat. If you crank the faucet, the hose expands and becomes hard. Sodium increases blood plasma volume. It makes your blood thicker and fuller. This increased fluid volume pushes against the walls of your veins, forcing them to dilate and pop against the skin. If you cut sodium, your blood volume drops by 10 to 15%. Your veins collapse. You look soft, even if you are lean. Now, let's talk about the biggest mistake people make: cutting water to look ripped. You see this in bodybuilding all the time. People stop drinking water and stop eating salt 3 days before a show or a photo shoot. They think, water is under my skin. If I stop drinking, the water will go away and I will look dry. The reality, the aldosterone rebound. Your body has a hormone called aldosterone. Its job is to keep you alive by regulating fluid balance. When you cut sodium, water, your body panics. It thinks you are dying of dehydration. The response, it spikes aldosterone levels through the roof. The effect, aldosterone tells your kidneys to hoard every single drop of sodium and water in your body. It stops you from peeing. It holds water. But where does it hold water? Because you stopped eating salt, your blood pressure drops. Your body pulls water out of the muscle cells, where you want it, and stores it in the subcutaneous layer under the skin to be easily accessible for organs. The result? Your muscles flatten out. Prune look. Your skin gets puffy and watery. Spill over. You lose the pump entirely. The solution? Keep sodium high. Keep water high. When sodium and water are consistently high, your body down-regulates aldosterone. It realizes we have plenty of water and salt coming in, we don't need to hoard it. It flushes excess water out. You pee clear. Your skin tightens up. Your muscles stay full. A full muscle is a hard muscle. A dehydrated muscle is a soft muscle. You cannot just eat salt. Biology is about ratios. The sodium-potassium pump requires both sides of the coin. 1. Sodium, the extracellular king, role, maintains blood volume, vascularity, and nerve transmission. Crucial for glucose transport, SGLT1 transporter requires sodium to drag glucose into the cell. Location, outside the cell opening parenthesis, mostly closing parenthesis. 2. Potassium, the intracellular king, role, balances sodium, pulls water inside the muscle cell. Location, inside the cell. The dynamic, high sodium plus low potassium equals bloat, water stays outside the cell. Under the skin, high sodium plus high potassium equals the pump, water is pulled into the blood, then driven into the muscle. Sources, potatoes white, sweet, bananas, coconut water, spinach, avocado. 3. Magnesium, the relaxer, role, allows the muscle to relax after contraction. Critical for ATP production. Deficiency, twitching, cramping, poor sleep. Insulin resistance, the golden ratio for lifters, for a hard training athlete who sweats profusely. The RDA recommended daily allowance is a joke. We aim for sodium 3,000 to 5,000 milligrams per day. Teaspoon of salt equals approximately 2,300 milligrams. Potassium 3,500 to 4,700 milligrams per day. This is hard to hit with food alone. Magnesium 400 minus 500 milligrams per day. If you eat processed food, you get high sodium, low potassium. Result, bloated and unhealthy. We want high sodium plus high potassium. That is the performance look. Stop relying on citrulline alone. Let's build the ultimate pre-workout stack using your kitchen cabinet. The timing, you need to load sodium and water 45 to 60 minutes before training. It takes time for the gut to absorb the fluid and expand plasma volume. If you drink it 5 minutes before, it just sloshes in your stomach. The recipe, the ocean water elixir, water, 20 to 30 ounces approx. 700 to 900 milliliters. You need a vehicle for the minerals. Sodium, 1/2 teaspoon of pink Himalayan salt or sea salt. This provides approximately 1,000 milligrams sodium. Why pink salt? It contains trace minerals. But honestly, plain white iodized salt works for the pump too. Just get the sodium in. Potassium, 1/4 teaspoon of Nuzzel potassium chloride or eat a large banana. Flavor, crystal light, mayo or lemon juice. Salt water tastes terrible. Mask it, the synergy stack. If you want to take this to the pro level, add creatine 5 grams, also pulls water into the muscle. Glycerol 3 grams. Works synergistically with sodium to hyperhydrate. Carbohydrates 30 grams. Dextrose or honey, insulin plus. Sodium drives water into the muscle faster than water alone. Intra-workout. If your session lasts longer than 75 minutes, or if you are in a hot environment, you lose massive amounts of sodium in sweat. Add another pinch 1/4 TSP of salt to your intra-workout water bottle. This prevents the crash halfway through the leg workout. I must address the medical elephant in the room. But doctor, won't this give me hypertension? The science of salt sensitivity. The population is divided into 2 groups, salt sensitive, approx 25 to 30%. In these people, excess salt raises blood pressure significantly because their kidneys don't excrete it efficiently. This is common in obesity, elderly populations, and certain genetic lineages. Salt resistant the majority in healthy, active individuals with functioning kidneys. Excess salt is simply excreted in urine. Blood pressure remains stable. The athlete's context. If you sit on the couch eating Doritos and watching Netflix, high salt is bad. You aren't using it. If you squat for 100 pounds, do cardio, and sweat buckets, salt is fuel. You are losing grams of sodium per hour. If you replace only water, hyponatremia, you dilute your blood sodium. This leads to brain fog, weakness, and potential collapse. The test. By a cheap blood pressure cuff. Week 1, eat low salt. Measure BP. Week 2, use the salt shaker protocol. Measure BP. If it skyrockets, e.g., plus 10-15 points, you are salt sensitive. Back off. If it stays the same, which is likely for lean lifters. You are green lit for the pump. Let's bring this home. You have spent hundreds of dollars on nitric oxide boosters, arginine, and fancy pre-workouts with cool logos. But you have been ignoring the $1 box of salt sitting in your pantry. The pump is not just a cosmetic feeling. It is a physiological signal. It stretches the fascia. It triggers protein synthesis. It prevents injury. It is the driver of growth. And the driver of the pump is hydration status. You now have the protocol. Daily. High potassium potatoes, fruit closing parenthesis. Pre-workout. 1/2 TSP. Salt plus 30 ounces water plus electrolytes. Mindset. Food is fuel. Electrolytes are spark plugs. I want you to try this. Next workout. Before you take your fancy pre-workout, drink the ocean water 45 minutes prior. Look at your veins. Feel the contraction. Tell me if it isn't the best session you've had in years. If this masterclass changed the way you view nutrition, make sure you are subscribed. We are going to dive deeper into carb loading and insulin manipulation next. My question for you today, be honest. Do you actively avoid salt because you think it's unhealthy? And are you willing to try the salt shaker protocol for one workout to see the difference? Let me know in the comments. I'm Dr. Aris Thorne. This is Strength Unleashed. Get salty.